You guys, okay, so we did a really fantastic interview with Vivek Ramaswamy for our deep dive this week. We're basically making it our deep dive this week, so it's going to come out tomorrow. Our producer Valen, she went through and made it all pretty because we did it in his bedroom.
I mean, probably not the bedroom he actually slept in, but
No,
a
probably
hotel
not.
Bedroom.
Right. I mean, somebody slept there. It may not have been him that slept there, but we did it in a hotel bedroom, and it was a great interview. It took a little while for us to warm him up, but then we finally broke him. And the last like 10 to 12 minutes of it is so great. I mean, all of it's great, but the last 10 to 12 minutes, we got him to kind of loosen up a little bit more. So you guys really need to check that out. It comes out tomorrow. It's going to be fantastic. That's our deep dive. If you can't listen to it, right away when she releases it, put it in your pocket, listen to it sometime this weekend. It's really great. Vivek Ramaswamy, that comes out this weekend. And then also check out our website, chicksontheright.com. Do that this weekend.
Do both of those things for real, for sure, for absolutely sure. You guys, if you missed the Twitter hearing yesterday, we have so much to share with you about that. If you missed it, so much good, juicy coverage of that. But before we get to that, as usual, we have lots of just sort of miscellaneous headlines to tell you about. First of all, Trump is releasing the coolest book ever.
I'm buying it. I'm buying this book.
I'm not sure when this comes out. And that's my bad. I should have had that information for you. But essentially, it's going to be a coffee table book called Letters to Trump. And it's going to be a collection of all of the personal letters that he has received from celebrities and politicians and world leaders over the years. It looks like it's going to be amazing, particularly because it will embarrass the bejesus out of a lot of people like Oprah. There is apparently a letter included that Oprah sent him, I don't know when, probably after he appeared on her show at some point, in which she just, showers him with compliments and praise. And then at the end says something about how cool it would be, like what an amazing team they would make if they ran for office together. So, I mean, I love that this is included, and I think it's going to be a huge, huge hit. It's expensive. I think you can get it for like $99, or you can get a signed copy for like $140, I think, something like that. And I mean, that I would actually like to have that because
I will buy it.
Good stuff in there.
Yeah, I will totally buy it. I love coffee table books. And this one will be fantastic. So I will totally buy this without question.
Right? I mean, it just definitely looks like a good one. Speaking of books, however, Trump is not going to be happy with the results or the success, I guess I should say, of DeSantis's book, which came out last Tuesday. It sold more copies in its first week than Trump's book did, than Pence's book did, and then Obama's book did in its first week. So people are clearly very, very interested in what Governor DeSantis has to say.
Very interesting.
Book is doing very, very well.
It is interesting because, when you listen to the media, you just don't know because people will say, oh, everybody hates him or he's not doing well or whatever. I don't just quit listening.
Somebody's
to the media.
buying it. I
haven't
even bought mine yet. I mean, so like I probably will. And
she's
I haven't even bought it yet.
She's going to buy 10 copies. Right.
So anyway, so those are some book newses. I just said newses.
It's a new word. Run with it.
I got to get more boning in this morning. And then Gavin Newsom has himself a case of the COVID, and apparently he's caught that while he was vacationing in Mexico.
He's like quintuple boosted. How is he getting COVID? I don't get it. Somebody needs to explain this to me. I don't get it. It's like Pfizer's
weird.
Like, just get like a sextuple boost. You'll be fine. I don't. Such a bull crap.
Are you not Deca boosted yet?
Right. That's what it is. He just needed that. He needed that 19th shot. He would have been okay.
It would have been fine then. Shelly, thank you. Shelly says happy Friday and congratulations to Daisy. Welcome to the best club on earth. Being a grandparent is amazing.
In September, you guys. If you're not in insiders and locals, you probably didn't hear, but I'm going to be a grandma.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a Mimi. I'm going to be a glamma.
What is it going to be called?
I don't know.
What to be called?
They say that I have to wait and see what the child wants to call me, but I think Glamma is good or Mimi. I love Glamma.
I was called Aunt Mimi by my former niece and nephew from my first
Really?
marriage.
I
Yeah,
like Mimi.
forever, because that was just easier to say than my actual name.
It's a lot like Amy,
Mm,
which is my obvious name. I mean, my real name is not Daisy. But I
yeah.
mean, but Mimi's a lot
I
like
like
Amy.
Glamma though. That's pretty cool.
I think Glamour is really awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I don't
I
know.
like that a lot.
We'll see. You guys so excited. Babies. I love babies.
Well, and next time you feel like, oh my God, I'm too young to be a grandma, just know
Mhm.
this: Lauren Boebert is about to be a grandmother at the tender age of 36.
Can you even?
So her family tradition continues. Her son, who is 17, has impregnated somebody, and that somebody is having the baby. And so Lauren Boebert is about to be a grandma at age 36, and her son follows her in her footsteps because she had him when she was 18 years old. So she's very excited about this. The whole family's very excited about this. And so you are not too young to be a grandma. Is
Yeah.
the
I
point.
mean, I kind of figure, I had my daughter pretty, I mean, I was kind of an old mom. This is my stepdaughter who's having the baby, but I technically could have had her. I could have had her at 18. I could
Yep.
have had my stepdaughter at 18, and then my stepson, I would have been like 21 if I had him,
Totally,
biologically.
totally
But I
doable.
basically helped to raise these kids. So they're my kids. I mean, I
Yeah.
consider my stepkids my kids. But yeah, this is the thing. Because I had my daughter at what, 39 is 38 is when I got pregnant. But yeah, I had her a little bit older. But yeah, I look at younger moms, because we met a guy over the weekend. We knew him, Joe,
Mm,
and but we met him in person for the first time. I think that's kind of neat when you meet like young parents and then older parents, and then you discuss the differences and like
yeah.
what the cons and the pros and all that kind of stuff. So to each their own. But I think it's wonderful no matter what. Parenthood is
Babies
awesome.
I mean, I love babies
They're a blessing.
no matter
Right.
what. Babies are the best.
Right.
You guys, I have to share with you this email that we got from Deborah Hampton. So Deborah Hampton wrote to Bone Frog. She was hoping, because she has a Nespresso machine, and Bone Frog Coffee does not currently make pods for the Nespresso. She was asking about that. And so she was like kind of lamenting to the folks at Bone Frog. She'd written them an email, and she was like, "Oh, I can't use your coffee right now, but I am going to get one of your mugs. Thank you for your service," she wrote. "My wonderful nephew, Jacob Roelli, gave the ultimate sacrifice September 21st, 2011 in Kandahar, and I think about him every day." So that is what she wrote to Bone Frog. And of course, Tim Cruikshank, who is
Of
the
course.
CEO of Bone Frog, and who is just an extraordinary human,
He
just for
is.
even starting this company, which
Right.
supports the SEALs. Here's what he wrote back to her. He said, "Good morning, Deborah. First of all, I would like to show my respect for your nephew, Jacob, and his sacrifice for this great country. I started this company because of great Americans like your nephew that made the ultimate sacrifice. On a lighter note, we do not have plans to carry Nespresso pods in the future, but thank you for asking. And additionally, thank you for purchasing one of our mugs and for supporting our company. It is greatly appreciated. Have a great weekend." And so she forwarded that to us and said, "I thought you would like this. I emailed Bone Frog to see if they were ever going to make pods for Nespresso since it's all I use. Tim emailed back so quickly and such a wonderful response that I told him, well, now you've done it. I'm going to go and buy a coffee machine
Oh
to
my
try your
God.
coffee because of the wonderful customer service in a world that really lacks it right now. It's a great company." I just love that.
I just love that too. God bless them, you guys.
I mean, and now they have a special code just for us, you guys. So if you go to bonefrogcoffee.com, you can save 10% on a subscription of their coffee when you use code CHICKS10 at checkout. Please think about supporting them.
Yeah, really do.
Because there's
Please.
just no one better. No
They
one
are
better.
the absolute best.
And their coffee is amazing.
It really is.
So please think about doing that. All right, let's get into it, because yesterday there was the committee hearing on the Twitter files, and Matt Taibbi and Michael Schellenberger were there to testify. I'm not sure why Barry Weiss was not included. Maybe she just couldn't make it. I don't know. But those were the two from the Twitter files that did make the hearing. And it was explosive in so many different ways, in some part because of how absolutely dreadful Democrat congresspeople were to Matt Taibbi and Michael Schellenberger.
Mhm.
It was unbelievable.
Like the disdain,
Disrespect.
the absolute disdain that these people had for them. It was gross. It was
Oh
just
my
like
God.
it was so gross to watch it. Like, you're just like, these people are awful. I found myself like yelling out loud
Yeah.
when I
They're
was watching
just
footage of it.
despicable in every
Yeah.
way. And
Mhm.
let's not forget that Matt Taibbi and Michael Schellenberger are Biden voters.
Right.
They are
Democrats.
progressives.
Right.
But because they have reported on something that actually makes Democrats feel uncomfortable because it's true, now they're being painted as, I don't know, these like turncoat Republicans.
Right wingers. Right.
It's
As right
crazy.
wingers. Mhm. And they're not. They're simply not. So it just shows you how quickly these people can turn on their own.
Yeah.
And like eat their own. And it's gross. And it makes you wonder, is that going to make Taibbi and the other dude, I'm sorry, his name? What was, thanks. Burger Man. Is it going to make them turn into something else? Because you could only imagine how they must feel sitting in those seats and going, God, you guys are jerks.
Awful.
Like, how dare you?
Plenty of examples.
Right.
Plenty of examples. One that I don't have is the moment when Stacey Plaskett, who is the delegate from the Virgin Islands, she was part of the committee. She called them to their faces. She referred to them as so-called journalists.
Unbelievable.
Okay? Because she just doesn't like what they reported.
Mhm.
And so it was so insulting. And so I loved that in his opening statement, which I'm going to play 2 pieces of this, Matt Taibbi directly responded to that in the best way. So that's the first clip you're going to see in this montage. The second is just a little piece of his opening statement. And then there's also a piece of Michael Schellenberger's opening statement. They're both very, very powerful statements about the seriousness of what we've learned from the Twitter files that the Democrats want to ignore. So here is that entire little trio.
I've been a reporter for 30 years and a staunch advocate of the First Amendment. Much of that time was spent at Rolling Stone magazine. Ranking Member Plaskett, I'm not a so-called journalist. I've won the National Magazine Award, the I.F. Stone Award for Independent Journalism, and I've written 10 books,
What a hag.
including 4 New York Times bestsellers.
Unbelievable.
I'm now the editor of the online magazine Racket on the independent platform Substack. A focus of this fast-growing network, as Mike noted, is making lists of people whose opinions, beliefs, associations, or sympathies are deemed misinformation, disinformation, or malinformation. That last term is just a euphemism for true but inconvenient. Undeniably, the making of such lists is a form of digital McCarthyism. Ordinary Americans are not just being reported to Twitter for de-amplification or deplatforming, but to firms like PayPal, digital advertisers like Xandr, and crowdfunding sites like GoFundMe. These companies can and do refuse service to law-abiding people and businesses whose only crime is falling afoul of a distant, faceless, unaccountable, algorithmic judge.
Seen this censorship industry go from, well, we're just fighting ISIS, to, well, we're just fighting Russian disinformation bots, to, well, now we need to fight domestic misinformation, which is just saying we need to fight against people who are saying things we disagree with online. That's all that means. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's not a slippery slope. It's an immediate leap into a terrifying mechanism that we only see in totalitarian societies of attempting to gain control over what the social media platforms are allowing. And so, for me, it starts at DHS, but we basically see almost every government agency involved in this.
It's frightening. I'm out of time. I yield back.
Unbelievable.
How are Democrats okay with this? Like, I know it's okay. I know the answer, and the answer is because it's their narrative, right? But at some point that narrative will turn, and then it's going to be you who's squelched. And it's like, it always does, right? I mean, it always turns on the people who are like, oh, but I love it because it's the other side that's being squelched and shut down. It will turn on you, dude. Like, it's just, this is not okay. It is totalitarian. And you're going to be on the side of it at some point. You're going to be the one that they don't like. There's going to be something that you say. And then when you made that rule that, you get to be shut down, you're going to say something that they don't like. And then
Yeah.
you're going to be like, oh shit, they don't like what I just said. I mean, this is the thing. It is Marxism. It's communism. It's not okay. It's not, there's no place for this in American society. And it's really interesting that these are leftists who are pointing it out.
Right.
And then the other leftists are like, you're not supposed to point this out. You know,
And they've also pointed out that in some cases, it's been liberals who have also had their voices suppressed on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like they have also fallen prey to some of the censorship. Matt Taibbi tried to point that out 4 different times during the hearing. And there are still idiots on Twitter who are like, you're a conservative hack.
unbelievable.
And it's
right.
just like, okay.
And they're just that.
Journalisming.
They're just that. They're idiots. They don't want to see it. They just do not want to see what's happening here. Just like everything that we've pointed out this week. They're like, la, 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 I don't want to see the truth. La, 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 I can't do it. I mean, it's astounding what's happening in this country. Just astounding.
And it gets worse. I saw somebody comment that Matt Taibbi was on Joe Rogan, and we're going to get to that too, because there was an extraordinary exchange with Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who I forgot existed. And I have been so enjoying not seeing her stupid hair for like how.
Oh my God. Right. It's ramen noodles, you guys. She has ramen noodles for hair. I mean, listen, I know mine isn't that great, but come on, like do something with that.
I mean, it's not that we judge people on their appearances, but in her case, I do. I absolutely do. Okay. So the next, so just to give you a feel, I've got a couple clips too for a couple of the Democrat people who are on the committee asking questions. One of them is named Lynch, Representative Lynch. Representative Goldman is another. They're both asking Matt Taibbi and Schellenberger about Russian disinformation specifically. What they're saying isn't as important as how they are treating these 2 journalists. Okay, so here is just an example of the utter disrespect that they showed them.
Mr. Taibbi, do you believe that the Russians and their oligarch-controlled internet research agency interfered in the 2016 election via this social media disinformation campaign? Do you believe that?
Mr. Congressman, my disagreement with the issue is...
I think this is basically a yes or no question. Either you think so or you don't, and I don't have a lot of time, so...
Okay, well then I'm going to answer not in the sense that you're putting it.
Okay.
I think all countries engage in offensive information operations. The question is scale.
Do you believe that
the
Russia
Twitter files
in hacking, reclaiming my time? This is how it works now. I'll ask the questions and you
God,
try to provide an answer if you can.
You have to allow him to answer.
Do you believe?
Yeah.
The gentleman is out of order and should not be interrupting a member asking a question on our side, Mr. Chairman.
Reclaiming my time from everyone.
Do you think it's a legitimate objective of the FBI to stop foreign interference in our elections?
I think it's a legitimate objective to stop actual foreign interference.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what the difference is, but that's fine.
Well,
since Russia used social media disinformation, according to Special Counsel Mueller, I understand you may disagree with the allegations, to interfere in our 2016 elections, are you trying to say that the FBI had no basis to inform social media companies about efforts to potentially interfere in our elections after 2016?
I can tell you that I read internal Twitter emails where Twitter expressly talked about the fact that the FBI couldn't possibly know more than they did about whether or not there was Russian interference, and that in fact even they couldn't determine which accounts were actually IRA and which ones weren't.
Okay, I understand you like to filibuster. That was not an answer to my question, but I'll move on.
God, Goldman, man.
Oh my God.
That Goldman guy, it's like, what a piece of work. There's so many words I want to say about that guy.
So many words.
So many words.
Claudette is really, really mad that we made fun of Debbie's hair.
Really? I mean,
and she said it's a woman's choice. She can wear her hair however she wants, and we totally agree with you.
She can wear it however she wants, and I can say it looks a little bit like it resembles ramen noodles. That's the vision that conjures up in my brain. She's awful.
She's awful. And we're going to get to her.
Awful.
She's, oh my God, just one of the worst things ever.
Just quickly, can I just point out, like, when did we get to the point where it became this spectacle of these people in these, like almost like a higher up, like I know that this is the way that they do it too, where they're like up in these like elevated positions and then they're just condescending to these people.
Yeah.
Like, this is what they do. This is what they're paid to do now. Remember when they actually used to get some stuff done? Like, I don't know,
I
really
remember that.
well, not in our lifetimes. I mean, I don't think they've ever done anything like that in our lifetimes. But this is the thing. We pay these people ridiculous salaries. Remember that, you guys. I mean, like that Goldman dude gets paid a lot of money to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And a pension and Mac Daddy benefits. He gets all sorts of stuff and perks to do what he did yesterday. What a jerk. Seriously.
Well, there's also I don't know where she's from, but you guys, this Democrat Representative Garcia, what a complete moron. I don't even have the clip of where she's like, I don't know what Substack is. She's on this committee, the Twitter files, whatever this committee actually is. And she's like, she just openly says, I don't know what Substack is. And yet she's part of this committee.
She doesn't know who Barry Weiss is.
And she doesn't know who Barry Weiss is.
Mm-mm.
So she has not done her homework about the Twitter files at all. I have 2 clips of her to share. One in which she unfortunately describes Matt Taibbi, Michael Schellenberger, and Barry Weiss as a threesome. And there is like explosions of laughter. And then there's also a clip, and this is one of many. She's not the only one who tried to get 2 journalists to reveal their sources. It was extraordinary how often that happened yesterday. And so she was just one example, but here are her 2 big moments.
And I'll move on. And I wanted to ask Mr. Schellenberger the same question, sir. When did you first visit with or get contacted by Mr. Musk?
I'm not going to reveal my sources, but like I said, I was invited by Barry Weiss.
I'm not asking for sources, sir. I'm just asking for chronology. When did you first make contact with Mr. Musk?
Oh, my God.
I don't know the exact date.
Was it?
It was December. It was December.
December of, well, there's a lot of Decembers in history.
December of
sir.
last year.
Really?
Which December?
December of last year, ma'am.
Last year, the 22?
Yes.
All right. Now, in your discussion, in your answer, you also said that you were invited by a friend, Barry Weiss?
My friend Barry Weiss.
So this friend works for Twitter, or what is
Oh my
her?
God.
She's a journalist.
I cannot.
Sir, I didn't ask you a question. I'm now asking Mr. Schellenberger a question. Please
Yes,
do
ma'am.
not
Barry Weiss is a
interrupt.
journalist.
I'm sorry, sir?
She's a journalist.
She's a journalist. So you work in concert with her?
Yeah.
Do you know when she first was contacted by Mr. Musk?
I don't know.
You don't know. So you're in this as a threesome?
There was many more people involved than that.
There was many more people involved with it. Are you being paid to be here today, either through consulting fees,
No.
campaign contribution
Absolutely
to your next
not.
run?
Gentlelady's
Absolutely
time
You
is
have an
not.
interview
Gentlelady's
scheduled after
time
this
is
hearing?
expired.
Absolutely not.
Gentlelady's
Right,
time is
thank you.
expired.
Oh, my
You
God.
earlier said that someone had sent you through the internet some message about whether or not you would be interested in some information.
Yes, and I refer to that person as a source.
So you're not going to tell us when Musk first approached you?
Again, Congresswoman,
No,
you're
you have to
asking me
say
to,
yes or
you're
no.
asking a journalist to reveal a
So
source.
then you consider Mr. Musk to be the direct source of all this?
No, now
Oh my-
you're trying to get me to say that he is the source. I
Well,
just
it
can't answer
either
your
is or
question.
he isn't. If you're telling me you can't answer because it's your source, well, then that the only logical conclusion is
Goldman.
that he is in fact your source.
Well, you're free to conclude that.
I love Taibbi. He's so chill.
Oh my God, he has endless amounts of patience.
Yeah.
I would have been screaming at these idiots. I mean, I can't, like, the whole time yesterday, I'm like, he's amazing. I mean,
He's
the
amazing.
guy
Yeah.
is remarkable. It's just unbelievable how much patience. And Goldman's in the background doing this the whole time. He's just like this. He's like this behind the hag who's like, what's the internet? What is
Right.
what
What
is
is
the
that exactly?
and Elon Musk controls the internet, right? Can you answer? He control. No, you moron. Can you just stop asking questions? God, these people. It's like they have all these old 90,000-year-old like morons in government that are like, I don't understand how the internet works. Let me stand up here and ask a bunch of questions. It's
then make laws about it.
Right. This is what they're doing. They have no idea how the internet works. They have no idea how social media works. And then they get out there and they ask all these questions. They make all these assumptions because they've never worked a real job in their lives. And then they assume all of this stuff. And it's funny to watch it. Like, we laugh. We're all laughing at these people. We're laughing at that old hag. We're laughing at her. But at the same time, it's like, this is why you want people like a Vivek Ramaswamy in office, because he understands business.
Yep.
This is why you want people who have actually worked real jobs, because these people are idiots.
They're
oh my God.
So bad. I did
so
see
frustrating.
some folks in the comments saying that they have not ever seen Debbie Wasserman Schultz's hair. You're about to. Okay. We're about to introduce you to Debbie Wasserman Raman. And this is an extraordinary, this is a little long. Okay. But I just want to prep you because you're going to get very, very angry at her. She's trying to catch Matt Taibbi in a gotcha moment about his interview with Joe Rogan and something that he said in that interview. And as she gets further and further into it and doesn't allow him a chance to say anything, your blood is gonna boil, okay? But then I promise you, once you get to the last clip in this trio, you will feel some redemption, and I hope that he did too. Here is Debbie Raman's pathetic attempt to catch him in some sort of something. Here it is.
I love it.
Before you became Elon Musk's hand-picked journalist, and pardon the oxymoron, you stated this on Joe Rogan's podcast about being spoon-fed information, and I quote, I think that's true of any kind of journalism, and you'll see it behind me here. I think that's true of any kind of journalism. Once you start getting handed things, then you've lost. They have you at that point, and you got to get out of that habit. You just can't cross that line. Do you still believe what you told Mr. Rogan? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Good. Now, you crossed that line with the Twitter files.
No.
Elon Musk, it's my time. Please do not interrupt me. Elon Musk spoon-fed you his cherry-picked information, which you must have suspected promotes a slanted viewpoint, or at the very least generates another right-wing conspiracy theory. You violated your own standard, and you appear to have benefited from it. Before the release of the emails in August of last year, you had 661,000 Twitter followers. After the Twitter files, your followers doubled, and now it's 3 times what it was last August. I imagine your Substack readership, which is a subscription, increased significantly because of the work that you did for Elon Musk. Now, I'm not asking you to put a dollar figure on it, but it's quite obvious that you've profited from the Twitter files. You hit the jackpot on that Vegas slot machine to which you referred. That's true, isn't it?
I've also reinvested.
You've made some. No. Is it true that you have profited since you were the recipient of the Twitter files? You've made money.
Oh my God.
Yes or no?
God, this drives me crazy.
It's probably a wash, honestly.
No, you have made money that you did not have before, correct?
But I've also spent money that I didn't have
Okay.
before. I just hired a whole group of people to
Patently obvious answer, reclaiming my time. Attention is a powerful drug. Eyeballs, money, prominence, attention, all of it points to problems with accuracy and credibility. And the larger point, which is social media companies are not biased against conservatives.
Yes.
Oh my God. I mean, there's so much
because
rage.
listen, because he's not allowed to make money, you guys. He can't make money. People in the private sector are not allowed to make money. Only she is. She and her friends. We have to keep feeding these people money, but we're not allowed to make money. Did you hear that?
How many Twitter followers did she gain from being a taxpayer-funded hag?
Right.
Oh my God.
And doing that display. And listen, because we're not allowed to make money. We're the people who pay their effing salaries. The reason that biatch has a house is because of people like him and people like you and people like me. That's how she pays her bills. Like, that was the most insufferable speech I ever that I heard all day yesterday. That is the one that made me the most angry.
But there is redemption. And that's the part this is the part that I love, is when a whole other congressperson, because she wouldn't, of course, a whole other member of the committee said, Mr. Taibbi, I'm going to give up some of my time to let you respond to that ridiculous attack. And respond, he does. I'll play that in just a second. First, I want to say thank you to Jamie. Jamie says, this is a joke.
Thank you, Jamie.
What the hell is wrong with these people? Mock, make it stop. I can't. You have to see all of the things, you guys.
You guys have to sit through it. You guys have to deal. I'm sorry, because we did, so you have to deal.
All right, here is your redemption.
God.
Mr. Taibbi, would you care to, I'm down here on this end, sir. Would you care to
God
respond to
bless
the
him.
attack on your ethics? You weren't given really an opportunity to answer. And if you'd be brief, I've got a bunch of stuff I want to ask you as well.
Sure, just quickly, that moment on the Joe Rogan show, I was actually recounting a section from Seymour Hersh's book, Reporter, where he described a scene where the CIA gave him a story, and he was very uncomfortable. He said that I, who had always gotten the secrets, was being handed the secrets. Look, again, I've done lots of whistleblower stories. There's always a balancing test that you make when you're given material, and you're always balancing newsworthiness versus the motives of your sources. In this case, the newsworthiness clearly outweighed any other considerations, and I think everybody else who worked on the project agreed.
Suck it, Debbie.
Yeah.
Suck it so hard.
Yeah, suck it so hard. Somebody buy her some conditioner.
I don't think it's going to help, man.
Top.
Nothing. The only thing that helps her hair is when Vogue does a cover story
Right.
on her
Of
and
course.
gets her a stylist, which actually happened.
Yeah.
When was that? During Obama years.
It was like around 2014, 15, because I remember you and I were on radio and we were like, who is that woman? Oh my God, that's Debbie Wasserman Schultz. I mean, they did a cover story. No, it wasn't I don't think she was on the cover. She was inside. I think
yeah, that's right. But it was Annie Leibovitz that did the photography, right? Yeah.
Right. And they smoothed it out. I mean, they did, like, the top ramen became non-top ramen. It was like all smoothed out. We were like, who is this? Yeah, it lasted about 3 hours and then it went back to being top ramen, like chicken
I
flavor.
feel like her soul is what that's the reason she has that hair is because God was like, you're an awful person.
Right. It just comes out, you guys. It comes out as top ramen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you get mad at us. She was all mad at us for saying that. I'm sorry.
Wrong? Are we wrong about that comparison?
Right. I mean, it's you can get mad at us all day long. But it is what it is.
It is what it is. Now, here's a quick reminder for people like her and all the other disrespectful a-holes on that committee who were Democrats who were completely just awful to the two journalists. Here's Jim Jordan offering a reminder to the entire committee, and I thought that this was perfect.
I want to focus on protecting the First Amendment. Mr. Schellenberger, you're a Republican.
No, I'm not.
You got any pro-Trump bumper stickers on your car?
I voted for Biden.
Voted for Biden. You know how many MAGA hats laying around your house, right?
I do not.
Yeah, but you said earlier, both you and Mr. Taibbi said this is the most chilling thing you've ever seen as journalists. Mr. Taibbi, the same thing. You're not a Republican either, right?
No, I'm not.
You didn't vote for. I mean, like, this is about protecting the First Amendment.
I mean, I can't believe that required doing, but it did.
It did. Because it's like, oh, if you want to protect the First Amendment, then somehow you're a right-wing crazy nut job. Like, what is that now? What are we doing in this country?
Right?
It's crazy that you're absolutely right. It's crazy that he had to point that out. And the fact that, and of course, that's not going to get played everywhere on, left-wing sites that he was a Biden voter. And now it does make me wonder, is that going to, like I said, is it going to make him rethink? Is it going to make both of them rethink where they stand politically? Because is that a right-wing thing? Is it a right-wing thing now to want to protect the First Amendment? Because
it is now.
It is, because obviously Democrats want censorship. This is what they want.
And all you have to do is look at whenever a conservative speaker wants to speak on a campus, watch what happens. They get shut down, they get canceled, they get silenced, they get protested. They don't want any other opinions but their own.
This
to
is
be
what they
out
want
in the world.
This is what they want. I'm just appalled by this. Like, I can't believe this is a thing now.
Yeah.
This is what they want. So they may want to rethink their stance politically. They may want to think about, they may want to, and anybody out there who is a left winger who believes that, they're doing the right thing by saying, oh, I voted for Biden, or I'm a left winger, I'm a Democrat. Really? So you believe in censorship? You believe in squelching other people's ideas and squelching other people's voices. You believe in that? Because that is so unbelievably un-American.
Right.
Congratulations on being a commie. Congratulations.
And I love it when they
Wow.
try to say we're Antifa. No, you are
Right.
You are fascists. That's what
Right.
fascists do. Also, this was an amazing moment. This comes as a result of a question that Thomas Massey had for the two investigative journalists who were, and his question was specifically about what they uncovered in the Twitter files as it relates to the CDC and COVID. And this was also amazing. Check this out.
Found just yesterday a tweet from the Virality Project at Stanford, which was partnered with a number of government agencies on Twitter, where they talked explicitly about censoring stories of true vaccine side effects and other true stories that they felt encouraged hesitancy. Now, the
Censoring true.
Yeah, so they used the word true 3 times in this email. And what's notable about this is that it reflects the fundamental misunderstanding of this whole disinformation complex, anti-disinformation complex. They believe that ordinary people can't handle difficult truths. And so they think that they need minders to separate out things that are controversial or difficult for them. And that's, again, that's totally contrary to what America's all about, I think.
Yes.
I'll just briefly add, this is very disturbing because what they're doing when they're putting these labels on there is they're actually also trying to discredit you. So it's not just, it's a form of censorship, but it's also a disinformation campaign. And I think what Matt says is really important to understand. I mean, you go from a situation where we were fighting ISIS recruiting, and then it was Russian disinformation. And now they're in a situation where they're wanting to censor true information, accurate facts, because they're worried that people might behave in ways that they don't want them to. That involves mind reading at a level that is grossly inappropriate. I mean, I worry even about making this defense because let's remember, the First Amendment protects our right to be wrong. It protects our right to lie. I mean, it's bizarre to me that we would need to make a defense of the First Amendment and remind people that we have a right to be wrong. And being wrong, as Matt was explaining, is a big part of being a human being and having a democracy. So this is disturbing and chilling, and you're absolutely right to be outraged by it. There needs to be a full truth and reconciliation that I hope everybody would appreciate having on this issue, because a lot of bad behavior has come out about what they've done.
Thank you. Yield back.
It's mind control. They are engaging in mind control. And these people are looking in the mirror and, well, they're being faced with the mirror. It's like they're giving them a mirror and they don't want to look in it.
Right.
And so they're freaking out because they don't want to look in that mirror. It's freaking mind control, you guys. That's what's happening.
And even after all of that, right, at some point during the hearing, one of the first guys that we showed, that Goldman guy that you said was doing all the...
I'm Goldman. I'm freaking out. And then who's the chick that was the initial chick, that the one that was the long hair, that wasn't paying attention. The black woman that wasn't paying attention.
She's the one that called them so-called journalists.
Right. And she wasn't paying attention at all. She just kept talking to the people behind her, like during the entire thing. That's all she did. So disrespectful.
Oh my, she's just awful, ridiculous person. So even after all of that, like even when they've got piles and piles of evidence of exactly how the government coordinated to try to censor and to get Twitter to censor others, that Goldman guy still doesn't believe it. Thank you, Dawn. Dawn says, it's wonderful to hear your smart common sense take on all the things. Thank you for all you do. And thank you, Pamela Carpenter.
That's
Thanks
so
to
sweet.
both of you.
Thank you.
So this is an amazing moment. I promise this is the last one from this hearing, and then we'll move on to other things. But this is when Goldman was like, well, there's no evidence of any of this kind of government, silencing of First Amendment. And Jim Jordan puts him in his place, still with tons and tons of fight. This is amazing.
About Twitter. And even with Twitter, you cannot find actual evidence of any direct government censorship of any lawful speech. And when I say lawful, I mean non-criminal speech, because plenty of speech is non-criminal.
I'll give you one. The gentleman's time to expire. I'd ask unanimous consent to enter into the record the following email from Clark Humphrey Executive Office of the Presidency, White House Office, January 23rd, 2021. That's the Biden administration, 4:39 a.m. Hey, folks. This goes to Twitter. Hey, folks, wanted to use the term they used the term Mr. Goldman just used. Wanted to flag the below tweet, and I'm wondering if we can get moving on the process for having it removed ASAP.
Boom.
That is.
Could you read the below tweet?
And then if we can keep an eye out for tweets that fall in this same genre, that would be great. This is a tweet on the very issue that Thomas.
Can you just, for the fullness of the record, can you read because I've not seen this. Can you read the tweet that it's referencing?
I don't have the tweet here with me, but the gentleman's point was, tell us, you said no
such a
time did
jerk.
government try to tell Twitter to take that, to explicitly remove something. And
no, I said explicitly remove lawful speech. Lawful speech. We're going to conflate. The First Amendment is not absolute.
Twitter, this is something from Robert Kennedy Jr.
But for the record,
I assume that's lawful
as a point
speech.
of order, Mr. Chair.
Because Robert Kennedy Jr. said it? That's why it's lawful speech?
Just a minute, Mr. Goldman.
Oh my God.
But all I'm saying is you said in no time did the government explicitly say to take a tweet down. Here we have it, right here, from the White House. They couldn't even wait 2 days. 2 days into this administration, they were asked Twitter to take something down, and we will get you the underlying tweet.
Thank
With that,
you.
I recognize the gentlelady from New York.
Will you place it into the record as well, sir? The underlying tweet?
Robert Kennedy Jr. Is talking about he's talking about Hank Aaron's death after he received the vaccine. That's what the tweet's about. We'll get you a copy.
Thank you.
I mean, even when you hand them the evidence, they don't want to see it. They don't believe it. They just ignore it.
And he's like, some speech is unlawful. I get to decide what that is.
Right.
Because I'm me.
Problem, right?
I'm Goldberg. I get to decide what speech is unlawful. I swear to God, this guy. Somebody's probably married to that guy. Can you imagine her life?
Geez, my videos just disappeared. Dang
No, it hasn't. I see you. I totally see you.
My loaded ones. But there's only 3 left, so it's not as bad as that happening at the beginning of the show. But now I still have to load them.
Do you have to load them?
I have to still load them.
Really?
Dang it all! So, but it's fine because these are easy. I can easily find them.
Did I do that by bouncing around? Was that my fault?
No, I don't think that was your fault at all. Not to worry.
No. Okay.
I've got 3. Okay, so anyway, that concludes our discussion about yesterday's hearing. But it was extraordinary. I mean, hopefully you get a good sense of what went down. And I would hope that as a result of all that, by the way, my favorite thing was that both Matt Taibbi and Schellenberg were photographed after. And Schellenberger posted a photograph of the two of them and captioned it, "So-called journalists."
Oh my God, I love it. I love it so much.
They're replying to everybody. They're like retweeting all kinds of stuff. It's so fun to watch them on Twitter right now.
Yeah, it is kind of fun. And Schellenberger was on Tucker last night, and God bless him, he looked tired.
I'm sure
he looked really tired. Because when he came on, I was like, because when you do shows like that, like me, when I'm tired, you can tell by my eyes.
You hit a wall.
Like I hit a wall, and then I'm just like, I can't, like my eyes get really tired. They get red and tired. It looks like I've been doing like illicit drug, like things I shouldn't be doing. You know what I mean? And I just need to sleep. And so you could tell, God bless him. He just looked so worn out. He looked tired. I just felt bad for him. I was like, these guys have been through the ringer. Like they just beat them up. And it's awful that they've been beat up that badly. You know, like it's unwarranted. It's just not acceptable, the kind of beating that they took. Cause it's, you know what I mean? It's not okay. It's just not.
Okay, so moving on. Colin Kaepernick, hence my name today, Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick has decided that he is not getting enough attention lately. And so he has come out to complain about his own parents, the white parents that adopted him and put him smack dab in the life of luxury. He's complaining about his parents' racism now. Here is a bit about that.
Just love me. But there were still very problematic things that I went through. I think it was important to show that, no, this can happen in your own home, and how we move forward collectively while addressing the racism that is being perpetuated.
He took cues from his icon, basketball star Allen Iverson, who he said wore his blackness like a suit of armor. And teenage Kaepernick wanted cornrows to match. He's getting what roles, his mom asked?
Oh, your hair's not professional. Oh, you look like a little thug.
Your mom said that to you.
Yeah. And those become spaces where it's like, okay, how do I navigate this situation now? But
I swear, this guy, what a piece of work this guy is, right? Can you imagine being his mom right now? Like what she must be thinking and feeling after raising him and loving him.
I think she buys into all of it. She's like super woke mom.
Is she a super woke mom? Really?
She's one of those self-hating, guilt-ridden.
So she hates her whiteness. She hates herself.
Yeah.
God bless her. I mean,
he's very resourceful, that one, because he recognized early that football doesn't pay as well as race baiting bull crap.
Yeah.
So that's how he's made his new career, by drawing these books and complaining about his own parents' racism.
I wonder has he complained about his birth parents? You know, anybody ask them what effect that they had on his life? Just curious.
Oh,
you know,
God,
I'm serious. Like, I'm serious because they exist in the world somewhere, right? I'm assuming. This is the kind of thing. Like, has anybody thought about just being grateful for like the gifts that the gifts that you're given and the places that you're put in life and the places that God puts you, and then you go, wow, I've been given a real gift here. Like, I'm gonna do wonderful things with this gift that God has given me, and a gift he was given, you know, he was, and the places that he's been able to go. The guy was in the freaking NFL, you know. I mean, you think that he would be like, look at what I've been able to achieve, and instead of doing that, he just shits all over everything. And that's what, like, do people not have a sense of grace and just being grateful anymore? That's what I just don't it's like we've lost that.
Being victimized pays better.
It is we are in a culture. I see it everywhere. I see it all over social media where it is just it is a victim culture now. It's like I don't remember that when you and I were growing up. It just wasn't. We didn't have that. We just did not. There was victim culture was not a thing. It just simply wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't. And people thrived more. I think as kids, we like got up, we did our things. We all, if somebody fell down, we got up, brushed ourselves off, and we moved about our life. Now it's like, how can I be a victim? What a shame.
And how can I make money being a victim?
Right.
Like, how do I milk this? How do I grift on this? Yeah.
I'm sad. I'm sad for people who do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, Tucker and his J6 coverage. You remember how, like, as soon as it was released, and even before, as soon as Kevin McCarthy basically said, I'm going to give 41,000 hours of video footage to Tucker, and then the rest of the media, the mainstream news media, was like, that's not fair. Everybody should have access to that coverage. Everybody. Remember how they did that?
Really good representation. It was great. It was a great imitation of them. It was great.
You would think that since they were complaining on their Twitter feeds and on their socials about how they didn't have access to the footage, that maybe they would request access to the footage. But no, that's not what happened at all. This is an amazing call. Tucker called into Glenn Beck's show yesterday and talked about that. Take a listen.
The tapes. Did Fox News, the news department, can they have access to that? Would they get access to that? Do you think? I mean, what do we do with these tapes now? Because now it's your word against.
That's a good question. We work independently. We work for the same company you've worked here, but they really are in different silos. I can say that no one from any news organization that I'm aware of, and I can't speak for my producers, but that as far as I know, no one ever asked.
Can I ask right now? Can I get access to those?
But as far as I'm concerned, you can have access to whatever you want. I mean, I personally think that everyone should have access to them. I'll put you in touch with my producer who's been dealing with the speaker's office for sure. I mean,
wait a minute. So nobody from the news department, any news department, contacted and said, "Hey, Tucker, what are you seeing? What do you got?" Nobody.
Not one working journalist has texted me directly, and everybody in the world, including my UPS delivery guy, has my text. Nobody doesn't have my
Unreal.
text. I mean, I should just announce it on your show. Everybody has my text. So I am the easiest person to get in touch with. I've had the same phone since 1995, the same phone number. I never change it. I respond to every text every day. So I am not hard to get in touch with at all. I'm not Colonel Kurtz up the Mekong, okay? I'm just sitting in my backyard. And nobody has reached, and I was in mainstream journalism for 25 years, so I know everybody. Nobody has asked me. And instead, I'm getting all these texts like, I'm Sarah Ellison from the Washington Post. Is it true that you suck? The White House issued a statement today saying you're a white supremacist Nazi. Would you care to comment?
Isn't that the greatest? Wasn't that? Could you? I mean, I couldn't believe that when I heard it. I was just like, and I think the worst part of it is that people on Fox aren't asking him. His own colleagues, like his friends, aren't like, let me get some access to that footage because I'd like to support you. And personally, I think it's a scoop. Like this is super important news. It's not even just supporting you, which I should do as a friend and a colleague, but it's unbelievable. This is important to this is actually important to our democracy. You know what I mean? Like this is actually a threat. Like the Democrats always scream about, oh, it's a threat to our democracy. It's like this actually is. So I want to have access to that footage. Can I have it? And what have your producers done? Because my producers can work with your producers and we can it's unreal. Nobody's asked for it. What a bunch of whiners.
Well, and the reason that they're not is because we've already seen what they would show. We've already seen their side. They're just mad that there's anything contrary in those tapes. And so they're not interested in what's contrary.
He's calling their bluff. This is a total call on their bluff is what it is. They're all full of crap, you guys. That's what they are. Full of crap.
Full of crap. Lastly, before we get to whack, I've got just a couple clips from a speech that Joe Biden did yesterday. And the first one is where he accidentally, I think, suggests that Donald Trump will be president again. And so people don't quite know how to handle that. And then he tries to say a prayer, or it's just super awkward. And then the second clip, and both of these are very short. The second clip, he makes that point again, which he's tried to do on multiple occasions about how it's only now that people care or even know about what a supply chain is. And so he's tried to make that point before. And I'm always just like, the reason we know is because it sucks now under your leadership, right? I mean, I don't think that point is making the point that he thinks it's making.
Right.
Like he's trying to say we're focused on something that we shouldn't be focused on. We're focused on it because it's a problem now. That's why everybody's talking about it. Anyway, here are those two bits.
You may remember I was running for office at the time, but you all may remember it, that I had a big fight with the former president and maybe future president. Bless me, Father. Anyway, no. What? But think about it. I wonder how many people talked about, quote, the supply chain before the pandemic. Everybody knows what the supply chain is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you completely screwed it up.
Right.
God, you old weirdo. God, he's so senile, you guys. So senile.
So out of control.
God, we cannot have 4 more years of this guy. We can't.
We cannot. Do we want to mention the mashed potato story, or do we want to
You can quickly mention it. I think people, because it's Friday and we can go a little bit longer. And since we're going to be gone like 4 days next week, I think we owe people a mashed potato story.
We do owe people a mashed potato story. Okay, so I'll tell this really quickly and then we'll get to whack, which is also absolutely hilarious. And we've got talks. And then remember, you guys, we're not going to be here Monday through Thursday. No shows Monday through Thursday.
I have to go to California where the roads are racist, you guys.
Right.
You're so racist.
I'm sure going to be posting some things here and there on our YouTube channel and elsewhere, so you won't be completely bored out of your minds, but there won't be a live stream from us Monday through Thursday. Friday of next week we will be back.
Yes.
But I just read a funny story on Daily Mail this morning about a Reddit thread that started because guests of a particular wedding were mad at the bride and groom for trying to keep things within a certain budget. Apparently, getting birdseed to toss at the bride and groom for the guests to toss at the bride and groom was over budget. And so the way that they tried to save money was that they used the flakes from instant mashed potato boxes for people to throw on the friend group, throw all over the place. The problem is, I don't know if it was weather related or just people were sweating and drinking and throwing lots of, liquid around. When those flakes touch liquid, they actually turn into mashed potatoes. So it ended up with like mashed potatoes in people's hair and on the ground and all over the venue and just mashed potatoes everywhere.
Did they not know that that's what happens to instant mashed potatoes? Like that.
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Like imagining that makes me laugh so hard. Thank you, Janet.
Thank you,
do not
Janet.
do that. Like,
yeah,
PSA.
don't throw mashed potato flakes at people. Just don't do it at a
It's
wedding or any sort of like bat mitzvah, anything. Just don't. I don't know. Do people throw it? Just remember when we used to just throw, what was it?
Rice.
Was it? Yeah, it was rice. And then people were like, don't throw rice because then the birds' stomachs explode. And then they got all mad about that. Really?
And then it changed to birdseed.
Is that
makes
true,
a lot
though?
of sense because it helps birds. It's fine. I
Do
like
birds' stomachs really explode? I mean, did they see this happen?
I don't know.
Is this a true thing? Yeah. So anyway, so then they switched to birdseed, and then
it
now we're
became too
doing
expensive.
mashed potatoes, rice, rice.
Anyway,
to birdseed.
that was a story. But on to your whack. Do you want to introduce this before I show the pictures?
Okay, I'm gonna do this rather than work out really hard to get my summer body. I've decided I'm gonna do this. Guy is my personal hero. He's my new personal hero. Okay, I don't know if you guys know this, but I have 2 tattoos. I have one of a cross on my arm, and then I have a daisy on my hip. Mock is not a tattoo person. I like tattoos. I'm probably never gonna get like a sleeve or anything like that, but this I could probably get on board with doing because I'm kind of sick of doing not push-ups and sit-ups. You know what I mean? The sit-up thing.
Before I show the picture, then let me correct the record. It's not that I'm not a tattoo person for myself, but I quite enjoy them on other people. So,
yeah, she's
so
like,
we're clear.
Especially this one. This
Oh
one
my
is
God.
fantastic.
So
this guy is my new personal hero.
this is
He's like, look, I want a summer body. I want to work for it. So he tattooed abs on his belly, you guys. I just really like this.
Oh my God, I love
And I thought this was a good like spring break whack because some people probably think this is whack. I think it's brilliant.
It's pretty.
You never.
How's that going to look though?
It's the tattooed six pack.
Like, what if he gets heavier?
Well,
you know what I mean?
It's just, if it gets, he may have to like draw some more. He may have to get some more done on the sides, It does save time. It does. It saves a lot of time. You don't have to worry about doing sit-ups. It is clever, Dawn. I think it's extremely clever. I mean, this guy knew what he was doing. When he woke up one morning, he said, I am just going to tattoo on some abs. Screw this working out thing. Right?
I mean, that's a lot of color. That had to hurt so.
It probably
very well done. Mm-hmm. Very well done.
It is. It's awesome. His tattoo artist did a fantastic job, and it probably did because that area, it probably hurt a little bit. But
oh my God, and it's
worth
all
it.
over. I mean, like that's just color all up.
I know, so worth it. I know. So Amy's like, I want to see the side view after he gets fatter. It's true. So great though. Hats off to that guy. Happy spring break to everybody. Hats off to this guy. It's fantastic, right?
Now, somebody apparently joked that he should also get Brad Pitt's face tattooed onto his face.
Also a great idea.
If that is a thing, you've always said you wanted to just have people like Photoshop you as Cindy Crawford. Here's your chance. You could like just Photoshop her onto yourself.
I didn't hear you because we cut out for a second. Who am I supposed to Photoshop onto myself?
Because you're always saying to people, make me look like Cindy Crawford.
I want to look like Cindy.
You could just get a Cindy Crawford tattoo.
However, Cindy Crawford's looking a little bit like Caitlyn Jenner. So I don't know if I want to look like Cindy Crawford anymore.
Dickinson and
they're all one person.
All the same person. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So I think I need to switch my supermodel. I need to switch. Yep.
All right. It is time for, that was a great whack, by the way.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty different, but I figured it was either that you guys, or it was a woman who like ate a hamster like live. And I was like, I can't take us out with a lady who ate a hamster.
Yeah. That'd be a little rough.
I went with the 6-pack.
I like it. I like it.
There we go.
All right, it's time for My Pillow Talks, and you can still get your buy one, get one offer when you use code CHICKS at mypillow.com/chicks on the My Pillow 2.0, the amazing new pillow from Mike Lindell's big brain. This is amazing. We've got them. We love them. You will love them too. And it's buy one, get one at mypillow.com/chicks. Okay, first I thought we would start with a clip from Piers Morgan. And Piers Morgan is wrong about a lot of things, but it's kind of like one of those Bill Maher things. When he's right, he's so right.
Yep.
And I absolutely love the dressing down that he gives to this idiot who is trying to tell him that he is not allowed to have an opinion about Madonna's plastic surgery. He's not allowed. So Piers pushes back on that, and it's glorious.
You don't get an opinion on whether Madonna is telling her truth or not. That's her truth.
What is her truth?
That people are being misogynistic towards her, and that a woman over 45 is not allowed or permitted to be sexy in the eyes of people like you.
There is only the truth. There's not people's versions of it. We're not on the Meghan and Harry podcast, right? So you can't just say her truth. There are facts. The fact is she's done stuff to her face surgically, which means when she goes out now, we all shriek in horror.
I think it's quite rude to say that you shriek in horror.
I literally did. It's like a Halloween costume.
But ultimately, Piers, like you've met Madonna, you called her rude when you
She was
met her.
incredibly rude every time I met her, but I don't hold that against her.
It sounds like you do.
No,
actually.
just don't be wrong.
Women are allowed to be...
They're allowed to be rude little madams, and she is, right? No problem at all.
No, women are allowed to not like you, Piers.
Absolutely
and
fine.
That doesn't give you permission
not
to
a
then
problem.
attack them.
James, not a problem at all. She can hate my guts. It doesn't mean I can't pass comment on her without being called immediately misogynist.
But is anyone discussing how you look? And would
all
you
the
be
time.
okay with that?
Literally, I get fat shamed all the time, even though, as you can see, I'm basically emaciated. Right? so
you don't get an opinion on whether Madonna is telling her truth or not. That's her.
I just freaking love that so much.
Yeah, I do too. It's so true. I know. I actually put something on my Facebook wall a couple weeks ago when I don't know, was it the Grammys that she was on and she looked like, a tiger woman and like a swollen tiger. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? Can we not just grow old gracefully? Let's bring growing old gracefully back again or something like that. I put a picture of them. And listen, I mean, there are people that I know, I guess, that are friends. I forget I have like a couple thousand friends on Facebook. And there were some women that have had some stuff done to their face that are friends of mine that took offense to that. Because it's like they felt
them and
they felt personally attacked by that, just like this guy felt. And I'm like, I'm sorry that you put that crap in your face. You feel personally. I'm not attacking you. I don't like the way Madonna's face looks. I'm sorry if it's. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like you do you, but if you look like a freak, if you end up looking weird because of all that stuff in your face, people are gonna make a comment about it. I mean, it's like that's on you, man. It's like, and I totally appreciate that TikTok. Yeah.
Well, and to be clear, you were not attacking anyone personally. You were saying, can we as a society just age gracefully? Like, why can't we do that anymore? That's all you said.
And it's true. I don't see the need for, listen, I'm not against a lot of that stuff. It's if you want to do that, that's fine. But if you do it to the point where you start looking like you're not even you anymore, like that, people are going to be like, why are you doing that? You know what I mean? Like, we're on to you. You know what I mean? Yeah.
She's not like you when you start looking like an ageless alien,
right?
People are going to comment.
It's like Trisha said, she is no longer Madonna. Exactly. And that is absolutely the 100% truth. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely right. Okay. This is, I know people like their cats as much as they like dogs. So I have a cat eating corn on the cob, and the sound, you guys, the sound of this cat, I just love it.
They eat corn? I didn't know that either. I didn't know that cats ate corn.
I had no idea either.
That was super cute, Mog. I really like that one. That was cute.
Also, I don't know if you're aware of this, but there are some dogs made of liquid.
Oh no.
That is a liquid dog right there.
Oh my God, he's so cute. Like, I'm just gonna lay right here.
I'm just gonna lay
on the floor.
And speaking of dogs, I did not know there are actual contraptions meant specifically to clean your dog's toe beans. Did you know this?
Oh my God, I had no idea. Oh, there was a flap.
Oh, look at that. Pre-flap.
It was a pre-flap, you guys. He flapped. It was premature flappage. Sorry. Premature flappage.
No, premature flappularity is the best
was.
kind.
It was. He just
Best
felt like
kind.
doing that. Sorry about that. Continue.
Well, so this dog is getting his little toe beans cleaned, and it's like spa day for this dog. It's absolutely incredible. Check this out.
Oh my God.
Look at his teeth.
I cannot.
Look, he's falling asleep.
Oh my gosh. I need to do this. My dog's feet haven't been cleaned in like a year. Oh my God. They're ranch dogs.
I mean, this is an amazing contraption.
I don't know if they'd sit still that long. Would you sit still that long, Cash? There is no way, Mom. There is no way.
Well, Ella doesn't even like having her feet touched. She doesn't like it at all. So
yeah, Cash has a problem with the feet touching too. I don't understand why they are like that.
Sometimes they're just sensitive about it.
It's premature flappulation, you guys. Sorry about that.
There's this woman, and I know we've talked about this a lot, but it continues to be an issue. There's so many people on TikTok who, and you've seen them, we've posted them on our website, these freaks who are like, my pronoun is frog self or whatever. I mean, they're just insane lunatics.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So I loved this woman's absolute dressing down of all of those people. She is so eloquent in the way that she responds to them. I just had to share it.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but I went to grammar school. I studied parts of speech. I studied pronouns. I passed. I'm not about to go back to grammar school to relearn pronouns just to make you feel special.
Right.
And it's not that I don't love learning. I love learning true and useful things, but your pronouns are neither. You know, it's bad enough when we have he wanting to be referred to as she and she wanting to be referred to as they. Those are wildly inaccurate, but at least they're actual English pronouns. But now we have words which aren't pronouns in the English language being used as pronouns, words which aren't words in the English language being used as pronouns, and everybody gets his or her own pronouns. And it's a little too much. Okay. It's not going to happen. Life is too short. When you choose these pronouns for yourself, and by the way, you can no more choose pronouns for yourself than you can choose adjectives for yourself, at least insofar as you can force other people to use them when referring to you. But when you choose these new pronouns, when you have to make a TikTok video explaining to people how to use the pronouns, you're basically asking, sometimes demanding, that every single person you come into contact with go back to grammar school for a real quick lesson, just to learn how to refer to you. In the third person, no less. How entitled can you be? And all of this is done not in an effort to elevate the human experience in some way or to bring us all closer to the truth, but to make you feel special, to make you feel good, to fill the hole you have in your heart, which I'm sorry you have, but it's not going to be filled by policing how other people refer to you. She, her, or he, him. That's it. That's all you get. And if you're confused about which one you get, you need to look down. Usually, the rest of us aren't that confused about how to refer to you. But those pronouns were good enough for untold generations before you. They are good enough for you. You are not so special or enigmatic that you can't possibly be encompassed by a she, her. No. And that's another thing. When you choose these new pronouns, you reinforce gender stereotypes. You do. You reinforce the idea that a woman's only one way. I'm not that way, so I can't possibly be a she, her. No. She, her, he, him. That's what you get. Life is too short for anything else.
God, I love that.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was
Wasn't
pretty
she
good.
good?
So what's going to happen when TikTok disappears?
Well,
like when all these
videos from Reels.
No, it's not even like us. I'm talking about all these like losers that are out there and they're like, oh my God, my pronouns are chimichanga, and like
they'll go to Reels. They'll find their other spots.
This is the thing though. Like what will be the new thing because people have to like TikTok their life every day. They have to tell people what they're doing and how they're taking a crap every single second of every day. Where are these people going to go? That's because they're obsessed with this medium, right? So I'm wondering where are they going to go? Because
Instagram.
Eventually
they'll go.
They'll where?
To Instagram. They'll go. I mean, they'll just
you think they're going to go
this. Yeah.
You think they'll go back to Instagram? Because
most of them are already on both places. So
really?
Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be new versions of this platform that pop up, and Instagram already fulfills that need for the most part. So
people are saying they'll go to Instagram. It's just really interesting because they've kind
of YouTube Shorts for sure.
They've kind of strayed from Instagram. And so because TikTok has become the thing, like they make the TikToks and then they put it on the Instagram.
Right.
This is what people are doing now. And so I just find it, and then Twitter and stuff like that. I just find it interesting. Yeah, people are saying, yes, Daisy, they'll go to Instagram.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a huge, I mean, it'll be a huge loss for people who have made their fortunes on TikTok specifically, but so many of them have already crossed platforms and now they've built their empires on multiple places. So,
I really was hoping that the answer would be that they would all go away.
No, that's not going to happen, I'm afraid.
Really not the answer I wanted, you guys. Not the answer I wanted.
Not going to happen. Remember when we did Whole30?
Yes, I do.
Oh my gosh. So
it was awful.
Whole30,
it was awful.
like so many other diets.
I gained 6 pounds.
So many of these diets focus on removing sugar from your diet, which is a very worthy cause. I mean, sugar is bad for us. We know this. But the promise is always that you're going to have like all this energy and like you're going to feel amazing and you're going to break your addiction to it. If you just keep it out of your diet long enough, your world is going to change and everything's going to be awesome. So this is the most honest review of a person removing sugar from their diet I have ever seen.
Hi, I cut sugar out of my diet completely 3 weeks ago, and here's how it's going. Does my skin look amazing? Yes. Am I happy at all? No. Have I lost weight? Yes. Do I experience joy? No. Do I have more energy? Yes. Do I cry every day? Yes. Do people like me more? No. Do I still have cravings? Yes. Do I feel homicidal? Yes. Am I technically healthier? Yes. Do I get goosebumps when I see Girl Scout cookies? Yes. Am I mad at everyone I love? Yes. Is this an act of self-love? I don't know anymore. Have I thought about eating ice cream out of the trash? Yes. Am I doing good? No.
That's exactly right. I hated that whole month. That whole month sucked. Do you remember?
God, it was
like there'd be
awful.
like cake in the break room, and I'd be like, you'd be like, don't do it, don't do it. And I'd be like, I hate you. Why are we friends? And I'd want to kill you, and then it'd be like a whole thing. People would have to keep me from killing you. It was awful. It was just awful.
Yeah,
the whole
good
month.
times.
I don't like being
Good
told
times.
what to do, and it was like a whole month of just like people telling me what to do, and I was like,
And
I'm
what
gonna
you
kill.
can't have.
Yeah, just stop telling me what to do. This is America. Yeah.
Anyway, those were your talks. I hope that leads you into this next week without us.
You guys, we're gonna miss
on a
you.
good start.
I seriously am gonna miss you guys.
For real.
I really will.
Same.
And I'm gonna be in California. I don't really want to go to California and give them my money. I don't want to go there, but my son lives there. And so
Well, a lot of our people live there too. So I
You
mean, there's a
know.
lot of great people in
Okay.
California. They just have a really sucky government.
I
you
know they do. And it pains me to give California my money.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't really
Because
like,
you're
I don't wanna-
basically helping Gavin fight off his COVID. You know.
I'm just helping Gavin, period. Do all the commie things. So I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm not really looking forward to that, but I'm very excited to see our boy and, our daughter-in-law. So that's good. I'm excited about
And make
that.
sure, because I bet, and I'm not speaking, I don't mean to speak for you, but if you are a Facebook insider or a local supporter, my bet is you're going to see some exclusive
You
stuff
will.
from her vacation.
You will totally see some exclusive stuff. I will put some stuff in there. Yeah. And also I appreciate all the things from all the people who gave us well wishes on the new baby that's going to be in our family. So excited. September.
And we have gifts.
September.
Oh my gosh.
And
I
we have
almost just
gifts.
forgot.
I was just pulling them over. Yes, we do have gifts. I know. I was not going to let you forget because I have
Thank
it written
you.
down. I have like gifts written down on his face.
Well, let's bring it in for people who don't want to stay for gifts.
Okay, if you don't want to stay. Okay, bring it in. Cash is already on the floor. He did his flaps and he's exhausted from the flappage. And so he's on the floor. Okay, so for those of you who are leaving, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Have a great 4 days. And then we'll be back next Friday because we cannot go a whole week without you guys.
Can't do it. Can't do
Yeah.
it.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Okay. All right. And then we got some gifts. You want to say what the
You go.
gifts are? You want me to say, okay, I've already eaten like a bunch of them. We got some candy from Sid, you guys. He said, yeah, I've already eaten some. She hasn't opened hers yet. She just got
I
hers
just got them yesterday.
Yeah. So he wrote to me, and I think he wrote the same to you. He wrote, Daisy, I thought I would sweeten your day with these awesome peppermint ginger chews. They're very good. Thanks for making my morning so sweet. I am also sending these to Mock. Hugs from Superfan Sid. And he basically wrote the same thing to Mock, just
Superfan Sid.
Superfan Sid. So thank you for that. And then I didn't know who this was from. You had to get it to find out who it was from, but we got a really cool sign.
These are from Joy. Joy
From
sent
Joy.
these to us because we talked about the fact that it was our anniversary recently, and we always talk about the serendipitous way that we met. So she thought we needed to have these signs, and I just love
So sweet. Love that. Thank you.
And then I also have something from Jason Carpenter, who is right here. He's a locals member. He's right here in Indianapolis. And he sent me this shirt. He said, I'm always grateful to have you both in my life. You make this crazy world bearable. I started listening to you on the radio during the pandemic. Everyone at WIBC at that time was like my coworkers when I was working. I still listen to WIBC, but I'm also a locals member when you started it. I'm waiting for the meet and greet in the Midwest so that I can meet you all in person. Your friend, Jason Carpenter. And he sent me, I love this so freaking much. Can you see it?
Oh my gosh, that is so cute. You are a super fan. Like you're a DeSantis super fan now.
I have a lot of DeSantis swag.
So much swag. Yep. I
Isn't
love
that
it.
sweet? I just love that.
It's very, very sweet. Thank you guys so much. You guys spoil us. And I will try to have a great trip, you guys. Listen, it's going to be nice to be away for a couple of days because we haven't had a vacation since July.
Yeah.
So it's been since, I think it was July. Yeah, since July. So it'll be nice to be away for
And I'm going to be in my beloved Beaufort for the weekend, just the weekend. And then we'll go back for spring break in the first week of April, but going to a wedding. So weddings are always fun. So
you need to post pictures of that. Post a couple pictures. So she will.
Do that.
And insiders and stuff like that. So you guys look for those. And then we will see you next Friday. And everybody have a wonderful couple days. We'll be thinking about you. We'll miss you. Bye, everybody.